Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to be starting talking about theme. Theme in reading is a little bit different than most people expect it to be. A lot of people assume that theme is like the main idea of the story, what the story is mostly about, or is maybe a one-word explanation about what is happening in the story. That is just not the case. Theme is a generalized statement, a sentence that tells something that is learned in the story, or is a statement about human nature and things that we all go through in life. A couple of good examples of themes are things like, not all advice is good advice. Some of you may have gotten some bad advice at some point in your lives, and you know the truth that not all of it is very good. So you know that this would be a theme of a story. So if you read a story about someone who got some advice that wasn't necessarily the best advice, you would realize that the theme, the message, the statement of this story would be that it's not all good advice. Some other types of themes that we often see in reading are things that money doesn't buy happiness. We know this is a truth in life in general. Money doesn't buy happiness in general. We have other ones. One should always have a backup plan. This is especially true for teachers. We always need to have a backup plan because something's not going to go the way that you expected it to. Differences can bring us together, and you find these in a lot of stories about how two people are very different, and they come together to achieve one common goal. So this is a good theme that you might find. It's best to prepare for when you may need something. And in our story yesterday about the grasshopper and the ants, we could say that the theme of that story might not only just be don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. It may also be that it's best to prepare for when you may need something, because the grasshopper didn't really prepare for what he needed when he needed to have food later on. So that is a couple of themes that we often find. Other ones like hard work eventually pays off. Another theme that the grasshopper and ant story could have been an example of. There's some other good ones like this. Someone who lies often will not be believed when he or she tells the truth. The common story that you hear with this one is the story of the boy who cried wolf. Is a story about a boy who thought it was funny to yell that there was a wolf coming to attack the sheep. And so everyone would come out to help him and to defend the sheep. But there was no wolf until one day there really was a wolf. And so he cried wolf and tried to get people to come and help him, but no one believed him. So they didn't come and help him. So this theme right here, that someone who lies often will not be believed when they tell the truth, is a good example of a theme for the boy who cried wolf story. So those were just a few different examples of themes that we often see in literature. And we want to be able to have an idea of some of these themes. So as we are reading and as we are thinking, that we can come up with a couple. I have a few example stories here. Very short stories, not too much. But this one, I'm going to talk through this story right here and tell you what I think the theme is of the story. Jessica was distraught at being assigned to work on a group project with Susan. They were complete opposites, and she knew they would not get along. Jessica soon discovered that Susan was fantastic at sketching real-life objects, which was a skill that Jessica had never mastered. Together, the two girls put together a great project. So I'm thinking about this story about two girls who were assigned to do a project together and didn't know how they would get along and didn't know how to work together and thought there was nothing that they were going to be able to do. But then they started working together, and then they started actually working on the project, and they found that they had two completely different skill sets that were very helpful to get the project done. And so a theme that I might think of here is that different people have different skills that can work together. That is a theme, that is something that Jessica learned as she went through this story. So when you are reading some of these task cards, that your assignment is to read some of these task cards, pick out 10 of these, and on a Google document, write down what you think the theme of each of those stories is. What is the lesson that the characters learned in the story? I want to know and see what you come up with. So without further ado, I will let you get started on that. And I can't wait to have you all back in class here very soon. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.